Hi witches! So for today, I wanted to talk about some low energy magic for wintertime. Now, I know personally as someone who deals with some seasonal depression, it is really hard for me to find the energy to get up and do the things that I need to do anyways, like, you know, taking a shower and brushing my teeth, which is a little embarrassing to admit, but it shouldn't be because people struggle with that kind of stuff all the time. Totally get it. And in the wintertime, I find that I'm doing less of this big ritual energetic work versus when I am practicing in the summer, and I opt for more kind of like daily magics or simple magics, or if you're looking at the title, some low energy magics, which is what we're going to be talking about today. So the first thing that I really wanted to touch on is the magic of rest. I think that so often, especially in America, there is this kind of culture of keeping up, of hustling, of pushing through, and working through kind of these darker parts of the year. But I think it's also good to remember that we are a part of nature, and we need to honor our body's cues. Slowing down and honoring ourselves, as well as honoring the earth in this dark or dead time of the year, is really special indeed. And I personally, I find it harder to connect with the energy of the earth in wintertime, but trying and finally finding that connection is always worthwhile. This winter, I encourage you to kind of define what rest looks like for you, and to embrace that because you deserve it. The next topic that I want to touch on is shadow work. Now, shadow work is the process of going through your emotions and kind of confronting those darker parts of yourself, those kind of negative aspects, and honestly, this can be a very intense process, which is where I kind of hesitated to include it in this video. Now, personally, in terms of my shadow work journey, I am very excited to say that I'm finally going back to therapy. And I found out, guys, after I booked my first appointment, that my therapist is also a pagan, and I was like, what is the universe doing? It was just really interesting. So I just had my first session. I am super excited to be going back, and I really think that she's going to be super helpful in my life. So I'm very excited to kind of explore that realm of things. Now, shadow work, I do have a couple videos about this as well if you guys want to see some of my opinions and advice about starting shadow work. But shadow work can be done via journaling, meditation, thought exercises, as well as talk therapy. And of course, as always, I do recommend seeking professional advice or assistance if you feel you need it, and especially prior to doing shadow work, as it is a very emotionally intense process. Though, again, it doesn't really require physical work or ritual design, which is why I wanted to touch on it for this video. A lot of witches and pagans do tend to focus on shadow work during winter time when the world is dark as well. It seems a little bit more conducive for that sense of introspection in order for us to be more successful practitioners in the springtime when the earth warms up again. Moving right along, I want to talk about kitchen witchcraft. Now, this winter, I want to encourage you guys to nourish yourselves. Please feed yourselves, feed your bodies. Oh my goodness. I personally think that kitchen witchcraft is a great place to start, especially if you are new to witchcraft. It's also a really great place to return to when you need something simple. It could be as simple as brewing a cup of tea, or experimenting with lots of other hot drinks. Not only does it feed me personally, physically, yes, but soups and teas and hot drinks are just my favorite thing, emotionally as well. I love them. And as such, I also love experimenting in the kitchen. So this is a really great way to get to know your herbs and figure out what you may want to plant in the spring in your own gardens. If you're like, I do not want to experiment with anything, just no, totally get it, no worries. Instead, you may want to learn the history behind some of your family recipes and maybe use them as an avenue of, ancestor work, connecting back with your roots if you so choose, and to maybe familiarize yourself with the kitchen so you can feel a little bit more prepared to experiment in the future. Okay, and finally, kind of along the same lines, this is a great time to start looking up correspondences in the ingredients of your recipes. And this is a really great time to kind of come up with your own tips and tricks for remembering these correspondences or remembering these associations so you don't necessarily have to go back and refer to your books all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want to say that I refer to books all the time, but sometimes it's nice just to be like, oh yeah, I need a herb for protection. Rosemary's my go-to. Great, awesome, love it. So just some things to keep in mind. Now, the biggest thing that I want to just impress upon people with this video is to be gentle with yourself this winter. A lot of my comments or a lot of things that I've been seeing online, I feel like people feel like they need to be practicing 100% all the time, just go, 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 like giving offerings to their deities, like following the lunar cycle, you know, leaving offerings to the fae. And sometimes I feel like when people can't keep up with these unrealistic expectations, they may get down on themselves. And I see this happening a lot during winter time as well, because especially for me, I feel a little bit less connected to the earth, admittedly, around this time of year. It is a little bit harder for me to feel kind of one with nature when it is like 18 degrees outside. But I just really want to remind you guys to be gentle and to know that your deities are not going to be upset with you for like not practicing enough. And you don't need to prove yourself to anybody to claim that title of witch. That is something that you define for yourself. So I know that my practice kind of slows down in the winter. If yours does too, join the club. We can just be cozy together. We can be cozy witches together. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.